Hey, how's it going, everybody? So, I want to tell you about a valuable lesson that I have spent my whole life learning. Okay, every time something go on, this grant me an opportunity to learn this lesson more and more. But always make sure you get all sides of the story before you participate in other people's problems. Before you get in the middle of other people's problems. Before you try and be a hero. And one big thing to this too is even before you listen to a person you might be seeing, dating, thinking of marrying, something like that, even before you listen to them about the last person they was with, or before you even listen to the last person they was with about them, because everybody's best interest is not to tell the truth. Like everybody don't have their best interest in being honest, and not everybody know they're not being all the way honest either. Sometimes they could really be a misunderstanding. Somebody might think they're telling you the real deal about something, and they might be misinterpreting something, or they might be leaving out a lot of information that's valuable information to how you interpret what they're saying. Okay, that is one thing you can count on. You can count on the fact that a lot of information is being left out. That will literally give you a completely different perspective of who you hearing from and what you are hearing. Okay? I spent my life learning it. So let me tell you about a story. And this was around the time I first started to learn this lesson. I had to been about maybe 21, 22, like early 20s. Okay? So I had this friend who I met from, I can't even say how I met him. I think I might have met him through music or something like that. It was around the time I was still doing music. And he had a problem with some dude who was running a studio or something. I don't know if it was about a video or something like that. I'm trying not to give out identities or anything because this is a real story. All right. But he had a problem with somebody that owned the studio. And it was like almost every day I spent around this guy, like he was kind of sucking me in to like his master plan on how he was going to really take down this studio. Like he wanted to take them down. He was so mad at them, he wanted to take them down. And he was kind of like sucking me into his master plan. And next thing you know, I found myself giving him advice on what he can do to take them down. But really, like, we couldn't have done nothing about it. Like, we just some young dumb people who was mad, and because that's your friend, now you mad, and you don't even know what you're dealing with right here. And so he was real mad. He thought they owed him money for something. I can't remember what it was though. And like, I found myself with an attitude against some unknown person who I didn't even know, or I didn't know that I did know. I didn't even know I did know him, but I had a problem with this person. Every time I seen this person on Facebook, I was always like, huh, you again, right? Yeah, yep, you played my dude out his money. And it's like, I didn't even know that I actually did know that person. I just didn't remember that I knew them, but I knew they looked familiar. I knew their name was familiar. All they had to do was put the missing piece together. I'm like, that's where I know you from. I can't believe it. And it was literally every day. Like he was always talking about what he gonna do if they don't pay him his money, and he taking them to court, and he gonna expose them, and all this other stuff. And I'm like, yeah, maybe you should do that. And I found myself advising him about a problem I didn't know nothing about. Nothing. Absolutely. All because that was my dude. And all because that was the only side of the story I had. Come to find out, after I spent personal time around the person my dude was mad at, I later on found out that that was my family. That was my freaking family. And I'm just like, so you really had me over here looking at my own family sideways, and I didn't even know that was my people. Come to find out, dude was cool. I mean, he was just too cool. And I'm like, man, you couldn't have done what he said you did. You couldn't be like that. It just don't seem like something like that would come from you. It's something ain't right here. So I later on just kind of left it alone. Every time he'd start talking about dude and all this and all that, I would just start to withdraw from the conversations. I'm like, I don't know, man. You got a problem with my people. Like, that's my OG, bro. And I didn't even realize who that was. I knew the name sounded familiar, the face looked familiar, but then he put an identity to the face and name, and I'm like, wow, small world. And every time he would talk, every time he'd talk about him and stuff like that, I would like change the subject. I'm like, bro, like, just forget it, right? Like, if they owe you money, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, heck, right? Like, that's between y'all, like. And after I got to know the guy, not the guy who I was originally mad at, but the guy who was telling me about the guy, my dude, right? After I had more time to spend around my dude, I could kind of see what could have happened between them. I can kind of see what could have happened. Because everybody know your family, they got problems, and you know they do. If somebody come to me telling me something that went on between them and my brother, I know what's true and I know it ain't true, even if it's good or bad. If somebody said my brother did this or that to them and it's real bad, oh, I know that's true. If somebody said my brother did this or that for them and it's real good, yeah, I know that's true. It's just some things I know it's not in him to do, like good or bad. It's like, man, it ain't in him to give you his last $1,000. Like, man, like he ain't doing that. It is in him to give you $1,000 though. But like, even if that was half his money, but not his Latin, nah, like he ain't doing that. Like, right? But after I spent more time around the person I was hearing from, I later start to put the story together in my mind, and I said this, I can guarantee you it was probably something else to that story that you just ain't bringing up that caused a misunderstanding between you and the owner of that studio. And now that I'm really sitting here thinking about it, I see so many different people working in the studio and all that other stuff. I can guarantee you he probably ain't even the person who was handling your business. And so now you got a problem with somebody just because they own the place, but they ain't the person that caused you the problem. I can guarantee you that's what happened. And then as I really started to sit back and think about it, I'm like, you probably went in there acting like somebody owe you something. Probably. I don't know. Right? Like, you probably went in there acting like somebody owe you something and they just wasn't having it. Or like you was probably like supposed to show up at such and such time on such and such day, or you was supposed to go through with doing such and such thing and you didn't do it, and that probably put everybody in a bad predicament. I can guarantee you that's what happened. I just didn't want to ask. And the real reason I didn't want to ask is because it would have been better for all of us. if I just left it alone. And I said to myself, you was really about to have me having problems with people that actually care about me. I just couldn't really remember who they were. Like, long story short, come to find out, dude was real cool, right? I mean, like, it's my family. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was real cool. Like, you know, he did a lot of business with me over the years. Like, I see him to be the kind of person that would not hesitate to up the pipe on somebody if they came at me the wrong way. Like, I don't condone that lifestyle or just nothing like that, but like I'm just sitting here saying, like, I never even would have had as long of a relationship with dude if I would have let you drag me into your problems. I never would have met the people that I met over the years if I would have let you drag me into your problems. Let's just say y'all really did have a real problem. I never had that kind of problem with him. But like, he never played me out of no money. I don't even see him to be the kind of person to play somebody out of their money. I mean, it would probably cost him more money to play you out of your money than it is to just do business with you. Right? Because he seemed to be the kind of person that just like to do business. Like, you know what I'm saying? You always want to make sure you get the whole story. If you can't get the whole story, stay out of it. If it don't even seem reasonable to investigate the whole story, don't let nobody drag you into anything at all, because you might find yourself being against the very person who might be the biggest help to you in your life at some point in time down the road. Some point in time, you might end up with problems with people that you can have a much longer relationship with over the person who might just be momentary in your life right now. You might be listening to the bad guy about somebody that didn't even have nothing to do with it. You might be listening to the villain over the victim. Or like, you might be listening to the villain and having some personal in your heart toward the victim. Honestly, you could find yourself under the judgment of God, all because you put your mouth on the wrong people, or get in the wrong people's way, all because you listening to the wrong people. Some people got a good way of sucking you into their story. Some people got a good way of sucking you into their problem. Some people have a good way of gathering supporters around them against somebody who did not do them any harm, in comparison to the harm they did to the person they want you to be against. They could be leaving out the entire first half of what took place before the problem happened that they got the problem with right now. People leave out a lot of information when they telling you a story between them and somebody else, like a bad story. Just know that. Expect that. Now, if you are real invested in the situation, like if you got a good reason to be more invested in the situation, don't hesitate to go behind their back and be like, hey man, I'm trying to find out what really happened between you and so, because they over here telling me this happened, and I just really want to make sure, because like, man, like if that didn't happen, like I don't want to be sitting here having a problem with you about something that ain't even a problem in the first place. Other people's relationship stuff, you definitely want to stay out of between that, because they could drag you into being somebody else's worst enemy just for them to end up getting back with that person. And now you over here with a problem with somebody, and the person that talked you into having a problem with that somebody, like they on good terms now. That stuff happened a whole lot. Every time, like, my people going through their relationship stuff, like with their girls or whatever they do, I'm like, look, I don't want nothing against you at all. At all. Like, you know, like, I hear what you saying about my people and all, but I'm gonna say this, like, I dealt with females before. I know y'all leave out a lot of information, like people do in general, but I've dealt with more females than guys, like you know what I'm saying, like, and I'm like, people leave out a lot of information, especially in relationship stuff. You might not be telling me the part where you called him out of his name, cussed him out, and threw all his clothes out of the window. All you telling me is he stabbed your tire and thought it was funny. Yeah, but you ain't tell me the part where you cussed him out and called him out his name and threw all his Jordans out the window and costed him $1,000 worth of shoes. And now you trying to have me be mad at him over a $40 tire. And you costed him $1,000 first. People don't leave stuff. Look, people don't always include all that. And if they do, they would say it like, oh, he was just mad because he couldn't take a joke. I was just joking with him and he couldn't take a joke and he got all mad because he was mad at this and mad at that. And I ain't know he couldn't take a joke. And you like, so he stabbed your tire because you was joking with him? Is that what you telling me? No. What they forgot to say is that they called him fat, black, ugly, all these, like, they forgot to include all that. And they forgot to say that they wasn't really joking. They was just really trying to be dirty. And then you got to ask yourself this. Why would they even do that what made you mad enough to do that to him that then made him mad enough to do that to you? A lot of times, that be the one thing they don't want to say. That right there be the one thing they don't want to say because they know they was taking stuff too far. They know they was just tripping. They know they was lying. They know they was accusing. They know they was this. They know they was that. Be careful. Stay out of other people's business. The Bible say this. The first to present their case seems right until another comes to challenge him. The first half of the story you get will always sound right. Just remember, it will always sound right. Oh, my baby daddies, they all just this and they all just that and they all just this and I don't see what they would have against this and against that. And you like, yeah, they was just this and was just that and was just this and was just that. Sometimes they can be setting you up to operate like a hero. Like they could be setting you up to overperform by wording things to you as, I'm just the one who've always gotten bad treatment and nobody's ever been fair with me and nobody's ever done right by me. I'm sure you gotta be the one who can do that, right? And what you really don't know is they was crazy and drove them insane. Like, and some people don't handle being driven mad like everybody else do. Some people would go run and cheat. Some people would fight you. Some people would start slandering your name. Some people would go as far as doing anything and everything. Be careful, y'all. I always tell my son this, dealing with them girls in school. Look, make sure you don't let none of them drag you into being a Superman. None of them. Because you might not know. They might be bat mess crazy. Like, honestly. And if my daughters was the same age, I'd be saying the same thing to them. Don't let none of them guys drag you into overperforming by talking down on everybody they've been with before you. All they doing is trying to set the stage for what they expect out of you, and it could be a lot more than what they even expect out of themselves. And you dealing with your friends in school. Don't let none of your friends turn you against people you don't know. Because you might not know that your friends could have been in the wrong first. And even then, I always tell my people this. Look, if you was wrong, just say it. I might still take your side. I just need to know what I'm getting into. If you was wrong and you thought you was about to get away with some mess, just say it, bro. I still have your back. I just need to know how to have your back. Right? Like, I'm not going to go and tell on you. But I still have your back. You just got to keep it for real. Like, just be for real. If you really did it, just tell me. Like, don't have me believing you didn't do it and they coming at you crazy over nothing. Like, I need to know if you did it. I need to know how to have your back. I still have your back just because you my dude and just because you was keeping it real with me. If you really did it, bro, I will show you how to, I will show you how to make it right. If you don't want to make it right, I will have your back enough to just not have nothing to do with it. Like, hey man, you seen so and so? I don't know where he at. Like, I don't know where he at. Like, for real, I just don't. But don't have me sticking my neck out there for something I don't know I'm getting into. Just keep it real with me. Like, the worst I will do is choose not to have parts in it. Honestly. But just be for real with me. Like, the moment you lied to me about the story, but like, I ain't gonna go and start, right? Like, I ain't gonna go and start crucifying you or nothing like that. But I ain't gonna be able to listen to you about nothing else no more. If you really got all these people after you because they think you did something, I need to know if you did do it. Honestly, I might be the one to know how to solve your problem if you really did do it. But I don't want to be spotted with you out in public, spotted with you in pictures, and then I got people coming after me over something you really did do that you told me you didn't do. And if you really didn't do it, I'm going to be sitting here thinking everything is cool because they know they just tripping, and come to find out they ain't. Be careful with other people's issues, y'all. Be very careful with that. Peace.